So I've been reflecting on this verse in 1 Kings chapter 18, and it's verse 25, and it says, Omri did what was evil from Adonai's perspective, outdoing all his predecessors in wickedness. Imagine being known for being wicked, but not only just wicked, being wicked than the kings before you or the leaders before you, or even in this case scenario, not be a king but a person being like wicked person than they've ever kind of known. And thinking about that, I'm thinking, wow, like imagine God seeing you. By the way, God is like king of everything, like king of everyone, and seeing the fact that, you know, his view on you is that you're completely wicked, like completely wicked. And it's like, it's one of those things where it kind of puts into perspective how, you know, how God's opinion on us is so important. Like, because obviously he's our father and he cares for us, and we don't want to be known as being wicked at all. We want to be known as being, you know, a good child of God, of him. And obviously we can try and be good people, and we try, as Christians, we try to be good people, but obviously at the point as well, we're flawed. That's why Jesus came. You know, he came to earth to defeat death, because he knew that, you know, we make mistakes, we're continually making mistakes. When it came to the sacrifices, it just wasn't enough. God needed something or somebody where where they could cover all sins, so it'd abolish or keep needing to do these sacrifices, and that was his son Jesus. So obviously we have the mercy of Jesus, that when we do make mistakes, we can come to him. And I'm just thinking that there's so many people out here that don't know Jesus. They don't know Jesus, and they are wicked. Like, they are wicked. And obviously I want to emphasize as well that, you know, you could be a good person, but if you don't know Jesus, you're still going to hell. But then there's other people who don't know Jesus and they're also wicked, and in God's eyes they are, you know, they're wicked people. And I think as it's our job as Christians to kind of you know, to bring people to Jesus, to know them that the things that they're doing is wrong. But not only just that, but to actually know who Jesus is, and there is hope for you through Jesus. And that's why, you know, we always have this thing where we kind of guess when the world's going to end and stuff like that. But, you know, it's not going to end until most people know who Jesus is. And that's why it's our job to spread the gospel as Christians, to spread the gospel. And I think sometimes as well we can be very judgmental, especially kind of actually I'm not even going to say that, but sometimes as Christians we can be quite judgmental towards people, and we think, oh, they're beyond saving, or we kind of cringe at the idea of someone who's committed a crime, like a very serious crime, knowing Jesus and accepting Jesus into life, whereas Jesus is there with open hands. And the problem when we have that perspective of kind of like who we think is worthy of, you know, being in, you know, who we think is worthy of knowing Jesus and accepting Jesus into our lives, then that's problematic, because we're supposed to be, you know, we're supposed to be like Jesus. And being like Jesus, he accepts everyone, he expects everyone, and the whole thing of forgiveness and stuff like that. So, you know, it's our job literally to invite everyone is invited to the kingdom of God, as long as they know Jesus, even though God may see someone as being wicked, we can then bring them to God. And even though he sees them as wicked, there is that mercy because of his son, because of Jesus. So it's our job to change that wickedness into. Our purpose isn't just to appease us and us only. It's actually first off to appease our Father, but to also take back what the devil has done to this world and bring his children back to him.